Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In previous lecture, we have seen the methods for measurement of deflection angle, then methods for measurement of prolonging a straight line, in that foresight method and backsight method we have seen. After that, we have seen the various axes or various fundamental lines of theodolite, and also we have seen the relationship between these different axes or fundamental lines of the theodolite. In this lecture, we are going to study theodolite traversing. Also, we are going to study regarding latitude and departure. Then we are going to study regarding conjugative coordinates and independent coordinates. And finally, we are going to study regarding closing error. So starting with theodolite traversing. In the first lecture, we have seen traverse is nothing but it is a path of survey line. So that path measurement is very much important. A traverse is a series of connected lines whose lengths and directions are measured in the field. The system of surveying in which the angles are measured with the help of theodolite is called as theodolite traversing. Different methods of traversing are: first one, traversing by included angle method and traversing by deflection angle method. So traversing can be done by any one technique, that is by measuring the included angle between the different lines or by measuring the deflection angle between the different lines. Next one, latitude and departure. So latitude and departure plays very important as far as theodolite traversing is concerned. The theodolite is not plotted according to the interior angles or bearings observed with the theodolite. It is plotted by computing the latitude and departures of various points and then finding the independent coordinates of the point. So latitude is the latitude of a survey line is the distance measured parallel to the north-south direction, while departure of a survey line is the distance measured parallel to the east-west line. So here in this figure, latitude is nothing but it is a distance measured parallel to the north-south direction. So for line AB, this is latitude. This length is called as latitude, while departure is measured east-west. So for this line AB, this distance is nothing but departure of line AB. So latitude and departures are measured for a line. Then next one, computation of latitude and departure or finding out northing, southing, easting and westing. Now suppose we want to measure the latitude and departure for line AB. So latitude is measured by using this bearing and the length of line AB. So the formula for latitude is, it is length of line AB into cos of angle between north and that line. So latitude capital L is equal to length into cos of theta. Similarly, departure capital D is equal to length of that line into sine of the angle or sine of this bearing. Now as we have seen, in case of surveying, the quadrants are measured clockwise. So this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So depending upon the position of line, now in this case the line AB is in first quadrant. So when the line is in first quadrant, its latitude as well as departure both are positive. When the line is in first quadrant, its latitude and the departure both are positive. When line is in second quadrant, then its latitude is negative and departure is positive. When the line is in third quadrant, then both latitude and departures are negative. And when the line is in fourth quadrant, then its latitude is positive and departure is negative. Now, latitude, sometimes also called as northing when line is in first quadrant. Latitude is called as southing when it is towards south, means second quadrant. Then departure is called as easting when it is towards east, and that is called as positive, and departure towards west is called as negative departure. So depending upon the quadrant, the latitude and departure sign of that particular line changes. Next one. So as I have told, depending upon the quadrant, sign for the latitude and departure changes, and this is because of the we can say reduced bearing or quadrantal bearing of that particular line, which we have seen in the first lecture of a prismatic compass. So for the first quadrant, angle or bearing varies between 0 to 90. The quadrant is NE. So reduced bearing and whole circle bearing are one and the same. When the bearing is between 90 to 180, then its quadrantal bearing or reduced bearing is equal to 180 minus WCB. Similarly, third quadrant, reduced bearing is equal to WCB minus 180 degree, and for the last quadrant, reduced bearing or quadrantal bearing is equal to 360 degree minus WCB. So if suppose there are various lines, say AB, BC, CD and DA, and say lengths are capital L for all the lines, then for line AB, when it is in first quadrant, then it is NE. When BC is in second quadrant, then the bearing will be S theta E. Line CD third quadrant, then reduced bearing will be S theta W, and when line DA is in fourth quadrant, then its reduced bearing will be N theta W. And depending upon the position, here for line AB, latitude is positive, that is length of that line into cos of theta, and the departure is also positive, length into sine of theta. As line BC is in second quadrant, its latitude is negative and the departure is positive. Line CD is in third quadrant, so both latitude is negative and the departure is also negative. And for line DA, it is in fourth quadrant, so latitude is positive and departure is negative. Then next one, latitude and departures. From that we can calculate the consecutive coordinates. Suppose line AB, its length is L, the quadrant is N theta E, then the latitude is L cos theta, as it is measured towards north, so sometimes it is called as northing, and as the line is in first quadrant, it is a positive. Then for the departure, L into sin theta, as departure is measured towards east side, it is positive. Similarly, for line BC, it falls in second quadrant, so latitude is positive and departure is also positive. Line CD, latitude is positive and departure is negative westing. Similarly, for line DA, latitude is positive and departure is negative. So, what is this northing and easting? Coordinates of line AB or coordinates of point B are called as consecutive coordinates of B. Then these coordinates are called as consecutive coordinates for C. Then these two are the coordinates for D, and again these two are the consecutive coordinates for A. So from these consecutive coordinates we can calculate the independent coordinates, and then we can plot the traverse of that particular area. Then next one, calculations for independent coordinates. So first of all we will see what is meant by consecutive coordinates. The latitude and departure of a point calculated with reference to the preceding point for what are called as consecutive coordinates. I will repeat this definition again. The latitude and departure of a point calculated with reference to the preceding point for what are called as consecutive coordinate. For example, line AB, its length is L and bearing is theta. So whatever the latitude and departure which we have calculated with respect to A for point B, that for coordinates are called as consecutive coordinates. Then second definition is independent coordinates. The coordinates of any point with respect to common origin. The coordinates of any point with respect to common origin are said to be the independent coordinates of that point. The origin may be a station of the survey or any point entirely outside the traverse. In case of independent coordinates, the origin may be 0, 0 or it may be station of the survey or any point entirely outside the traverse. So by choosing the coordinates we can find out the independent coordinates for the other points. Then next we are going to see regarding closing error. Closing error. In a closed traverse, the algebraic sum of latitudes must be equal to 0. Also, the algebraic sum of the departures should be 0. But due to the error in the field measurement, maybe in the angle or maybe in the length, sometimes the finishing point may not coincide with the starting point of a closed traverse. The distance by which a traverse fails to close is known as closing error or error of closure, and it is denoted by letter small e. Hence, this closing error small e is calculated by using summation of departure and summation of latitude. So, closing error e is equal to under root of summation latitude square plus summation departure square, where capital L is the latitude and capital D is equal to departure. Now see, this is the traverse A, B, C, D and again A dash. Now see, sometimes what will happen when we have measured say bearing of line AB and length of AB, then bearing of line BC and length of line BC, bearing of line CD and length of this line, and bearing of line, say dA, and length of line dA. And if we plot this, then what will happen? Instead of this D point joining to this A, it will be somewhat like this, called as A dash. So there is discrepancy over here. So this discrepancy is called as closing error. Actually the line should be like this, but we are getting the position at A dash. So this A dash A is called as closing error, and this is summation of departure, and this is summation of latitude. And to calculate this closing error, we have to use the Pythagoras theorem, and by that Pythagoras theorem we will get the value of E. So this is about this lecture. Thank you.